Yo, what's up, Internet? My name's Nerdy.
And I'm Clarus.
And this is Full Metal Alchemist, Season 1, Episode 15 and 16. Actually, I don't know if it's Season 1. This is Episode 15 and 16 of the show. I don't know where Season 1 ends.
You know what?
Are there seasons on the show?
I don't know if there's... You know what? Chat will tell us.
There's no chat. We are not live.
After watching this video. The
cool.
comments. You know what I mean.
Cool. After 2 episodes that I think are excellent, and finally feel like this show has been set up in a way that I'm like on board for, I'm very excited to keep going because I really like 13 and 14.
Yeah.
Like a lot.
Yeah. Those are banger episodes.
If you want the full length reaction, go to the Patreon, patreon.com/nerdynightly. That's where we post those. Clarus is on her phone now, but I don't care. I'm going to keep doing this without her, even though she doesn't want to pay attention while we're live on video.
No, I'm just checking. Okay, the next post-credit scene is not till episode 28, so we have time.
Oh my god. Checking her phone for nothing. Checking her phone for nothing. Chat, even though we're not live.
However,
I feel like silver's not the best material for this.
Maybe not, but it just might be what he's most adept with.
Oh, for sure. He literally oh, he has a peg leg. Okay. I don't know that was alchemy. He learned it from Levi, though. Let's go, Mr. Monopoly! You got skills.
you can't say the same.
Well, all right.
Oh, we got a different song.
Oh, this might be Season 2, Part 1. New theme song.
Or maybe
Please
it's
tell
Season
me,
1, Part 2. Who knows?
Please tell me that he's an official alchemist and that the Fuhrer allowed him to dress like that. Because the Fuhrer is becoming the funniest character I've ever experienced in my life. He just gives goofy names and he allows like alchemists to be goofy like wackadoodles. Like Armstrong and Mustang wear the uniform.
Yeah.
But like Ed is like, no, I want to wear my red jacket. Who the fuck is this?
Don't worry.
Oh, we're getting a bunch of new characters.
Yeah. This must be like a new season, I think.
Oh, rad. Okay. Yeah, I guess because we saw the greed fight, right? So I guess it kind of makes sense.
There was a big reveal, so yeah.
They're not trying to hide Dad anymore. Okay, cool. Whoa! That's a great shot.
This song's also a banger.
Yeah, I like this. Please tell me that she's like that's sick. That was great. Oh, shit. Interesting. That's a hype open. Let's go.
Right?
I like that a lot.
The stakes have been raised.
Oh, sir, you've returned. Welcome back.
Didn't this guy betray him, like, yesterday?
Pleased to meet you. My name is Mei Chang, sir.
Is that thing alive?
Allow me to close your wound.
Ooh.
That's right, her name's Xiao Mei. The art of reading the dragon's pulse, of knowing the power that flows through the ground and how to use it.
Wow. This girl knows some shit.
Mm-hmm.
The tattoo that I bear is a result of that research.
That's incredible! Your brother must have really been something.
The panda's freaking me out.
Oh, he's cute.
I'm just so worried that it's a chimera. Because why is it so small?
It's just cute.
Yes, there it is! And I came here to find it!
Oh, shut up! Kids don't know anything!
All right.
Incredible man I've heard so much about. They say his hair and his eyes are golden like the sun. He's forth to save people in need.
That's very funny.
What do we do about her?
I forgot how her image of him was like depicted.
Yeah.
It's great.
Okay. I'm not sure I love alka history as a term.
Alchemistry?
Is it alchemy?
I think so.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
it's not history.
Still don't know that I love it, but if that's a real thing outside of this, then I'm willing to eat my words on that. But
Feared by all, bury the chopper! Now I'm gonna hear you scream! I'm gonna tell you something, sweetheart. You are one strong woman.
what is happening?
It gets worse. There's a chance that military senior staff was involved as well.
I'm assuming this was intentional then.
What?
That she didn't accidentally run into him and she was hunting him.
No, he was hunting her.
And they just happened to be ready to capture him and interrogate him in the middle of the night?
Oh, she's a badass.
Hello there, Winry. You look like you're in a very generous mood today.
We've been gone for 2 days, so clearly I need you to fix my shit again.
Holding down an honest job now, and you two still can't stay out of trouble?
Christ. It's a lot of blood.
You mean you're not from here?
That's right. I came from Xing. Oh, Xing. That's the country to the east of the desert?
I appreciate this.
Yes.
That desert was rough, let me tell you.
Desert area. I love that it doesn't have a name.
No.
Yes, I believe it's what you here in this country call alchemy. In Xing, it's known as alchemy.
Oh, they're the same thing.
Yes, basically.
But the little girl said that alchemy can't do it, but alchemy can.
Basically, kind of. Yeah, they come from the same place.
Okay. That was a slightly... Yeah, okay.
Things began to move more toward the militaristic when the current Fuhrer, King Bradley, first came into power.
Suspicious. I'm sure they're not tied together at all.
Oh yeah, we are actually. I'm Edward Elric, a state alchemist.
And I'm his younger brother, Alphonse Elric. It's nice to meet you.
Secret alchemist. Because people don't know that I'm a suit of armor.
It's possible you two have heard of it before.
The Philosopher's Stone?
The Philosopher's Stone. I'm very eager to find it. Do you know anything about it?
It's got creepy so fast.
I want to achieve immortality.
Cool.
Hold on!
I was kind of hoping he was going to punch him and be like, wait. I'm sure none of this infrastructure is necessary for life in this city.
No.
I'm sure that pipe was just needed more holes in it, to be honest.
Yeah, that's fine.
How much time do you think the state alchemists spend going back through their own fights? That was cool. That was really fun. But seriously,
Just,
they have to go back and like reset
Fixing
everything.
all the... Yeah, right?
Let's go!
I landed one!
Less time celebrating, more time finishing your fights.
Besides getting yourself into more trouble.
Yeah, about that.
I'm sorry. How does a suit of armor outrun a person?
I think it's about time for me to have a look at your face! A girl?
Not too bad considering it was my first time.
Let's go, Al!
Now, I wonder how things are going on Brother's End.
It's a good cut.
Master Ling will be furious.
How the fuck did he set this up?
I know, come work for me and together we can take over this country. What do you say? I've had enough of your idiotic chattering!
Just casually commit treason with me. Come on.
So sorry, I don't understand much language of this country. Okay, bye-bye now! Hey, you get the hell back here!
He ran away!
The other one did too!
This is nonsense.
What? You mean you can do alchemy without a transmutation circle now?
Because he saw God. Right. Right.
Yep. Very useful.
That's how you treat your friends? By sicking your dogs on them? Those two didn't go easy. Let it go. I promise I'll give them a talking to later.
She threw a grenade at it.
Yeah.
They're quite good at what they do.
They're the worst interrogators ever. What are you talking about? They're fucking awful at their jobs.
No, you're probably right. It's not actually that big a deal. The Emperor has a lot of sons.
This episode is so exposition heavy.
Yeah.
The daughter of each clan's chief becomes one of the Emperor's wives and bears his children.
It's a lot of wives.
I come in at number 12 in that lineup. 43 kids? That's incredible.
7 more to go. Keep pumping them out, buddy.
There was some kind of fight on Main Street, so it took a while to... Albert, you careless little jerk! How could you do this?
What the fuck?
The fate of 500,000 Yao clansmen rides on this. We can't worry so much about appearances. You just assume I'll break it?
Yes, it's a safe assumption.
What do you want to go there for?
I'd like to go see the Hughes family again.
We still don't know. Oh, fuck.
Okay, if you want to go, Winry. You should take a break every...
I love this man.
Okay, we'll all go.
Central, here we come.
Winry needs to make him multiple arms that he can hot swap.
Probably.
You know what I mean? At this point.
Yeah. Have like just a backup arm in your
Yeah.
back pocket. Yeah.
That you can just kind of click into place.
I'm walking down a path of no return, so I will leave behind me every gift I have received from God.
He's such an emo little boy.
I know.
Ooh, no ends too. Okay. It's not my favorite episode of the show.
Yeah, no, that's fair.
Yeah.
Yeah. Here's the thing, not every episode is gonna be your favorite. You know, I think like watching you watch this has been really interesting because I am remembering what I loved about the show and also remembering what I thought was really silly about the show. It was my very first anime.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of anime-isms that I am like used to from having watched the show before.
Okay.
But that kind of like take you out of the world of it, especially when we're watching episodes almost back to back with 13, 14, and then this.
Yeah, there's a few things about this episode. I want to like there's a few things I really like about this episode. I want to get to those first, which is I really like May. Yeah. I thought her introduction was really cool. I feel like this episode, having bounced off that, I think the way this episode introduced alchemy versus alchemy was needlessly convoluted to have two different characters introduce it in kind of two different ways. I would have just... I don't think that was necessary to make it weird.
It's more just that, like, hey, guys, this place and these people are going to be kind of prevalent moving forward. Like, this was, like, an episode to be like, you need to know this and this and this and this and this and these people. And
that exposition was a lot. Some of it really liked. I'm grateful that they showed the map. And I'm grateful that they introduced Jing and talked about some other countries as well.
Yeah.
I do think that Ed should not have shared the state of the military with the dignitary of another nation. Like, that seems like, Ed, you're a major. You can't talk about what's going on with the military and the difficulties that they're having with someone from a foreign power.
He's 15, you know?
Still illegal. That's how you get court-martialed. I did not like Ling... Was that his name?
I think so.
Didn't like him. I hope that in the future he shows up in a way where he seems to take his own situation more seriously, and that his two cronies, the older guy not so much, but the girl seems like she's supposed to be very trained, but also like tried to kill Ad with a grenade, and then is like, oh my god, I went too far, and I'm like, yeah, did you think? You need information from this man? Why are you trying to murder him? But whatever.
Shoot
it was
first,
funny
ask
anime stuff.
After, you know.
Sure.
I'm kidding. I'm totally kidding him.
With a grenade.
I like that we got Barry the Chopper back.
Yeah. No, Hawkeye was going after him intentionally. There's no way that was not a sting operation.
No, he's totally just like stalking the streets for victims. He's unhinged.
And Mustang and what's his face just happened to be waiting nearby in a fucking.
No, I think that was like a big time cut. Like I think she like kicked his ass, tied him up, and was like, "I got a situation," and I don't know.
Okay. If that's the case, fine.
It's not demonstrated. I don't actually think she was like trying to find this guy. I don't think they even knew about Barry. Like I don't. But I could be wrong.
I have a question. If Ed and Al have access to phones, why do they never phone ahead about anything?
Because like 4 people have phones.
I don't know. It seems like the State Alchemist had like a phone bank.
Yeah, they have like landlines.
And they had phones in every room. Like phones seem to be prevalent enough in this world that they should be like checking in.
Yeah, they need to develop cell phones, to be honest.
They don't, no, but they don't even need that. I just think that they should be calling in. They should know about Hughes because they should call in every once in a while to be like, hey, still,
I'm very confused about the Hughes thing.
Why didn't Armstrong tell them about Hughes in the city?
I thought he did. Like, I thought that's what that cut was.
No. And I feel weird about this.
Yeah.
Because they ran into people who know Hughes is dead, who did not tell them that Hughes is dead. That's fucked up. That makes me really question how much Armstrong cares about the boys, that he's keeping that from them.
I'm very confused about what happened there. That was very strange to me.
Right?
Yeah.
I think it might be a weird condension from the manga to this, but I feel very strange about the fact that they're like, that Winry's like, we're going to go see the Hugheses. And the boys are like, sure, let's go do that. And I'm like, didn't Armstrong didn't let you know?
Oh, shit. I totally thought he did. Oopsie.
I feel weird about that.
Fair enough, yeah.
Yeah, I think it's an oversight on Armstrong's point. Because they're going to show up and be like, Armstrong, you didn't fucking tell us Hughes is dead? Like, how do you miss that bit of information?
Yeah, maybe we'll find out next episode.
Unless he did, but they weren't thinking about it. I don't remember him saying it, though.
No, he didn't.
Because they would have been sad about it.
It cut. He was like, I have to tell you something. And then it cut. And I was like, so wait, what the fuck did you tell them then?
So, but if they knew that Hughes was dead,
yeah,
then
Winry
they would have told Winry.
Yeah,
they're not going to take Winry all the way to Central and be like, oh, by the way. Like knock on the door and they open the door and like the mom and the daughter are both there just like weeping. They're so sad. And we're just like, what's going on? And Ed is like, oh my God, we forgot to tell you.
Yeah, no.
Hughes fucking died.
Some funky's going on there. I hope we get clarification in the next 2 episodes.
Weird. Yeah. This might be weird, but I'm almost more interested in Scar right now than anything else on the show.
Fair, totally fair.
Because his goals are so clear and his like desire to accomplish them is super clear,
and his like backstory is very complicated. Like,
yeah, but it's not convoluted. It's complicated without being convoluted.
Yes. And
he's just like he's not a good person, right?
No,
but he's a great character.
Yeah.
And sometimes when Ed and Al are like on an episode like this where they're like, we need to go get our arm. It's a let's get our arm fixed episode for like the 7th time.
That's the shopping episodes for this anime.
It's not my favorite. I'm not gonna lie. That joke has run its course for me, and I hope Winry can have some character development and like approach the situation differently at some point, because it's like you can only go to that well so many times before Winry starts to feel like you are allowing the joke of her being mad about him breaking his arm to stifle her ability to grow as a character, right? It like puts her in a box of like, we're going to go back to this box for this one joke and then we're going to say goodbye again and leave her. And she's going to Central with them. So I'm hopeful like they'll bond a little bit closer on this journey to Central and she can understand a little bit more what their life is like so that like they get attacked in front of her. Yeah. And then she can kind of understand the stakes of their world and what's actually going on so that we can like allow her to not just be the like stern woman in their life.
Yeah, I think Winry is kind of demonstrated as having like a certain like a bit of a temper because she like gets so upset when like when Ed like will like break his arm because it's like her work, it's her art. She's like put her heart and soul and no sleep into it.
Yeah.
And every time she sees it broken, it probably is like, you know what I mean? But it's one of those things where I think it's a joke that doesn't go away, but from what I remember, it does like kind of develop. that makes sense.
I hope so. It's just not my favorite joke.
Yeah, no.
And I think that for other people it probably works. For me, I'm like, it was funny the first time, and then it was funny the second time, and then it was kind of funny the third time. This time, I felt like the face, the like demon face thing was funny.
Yeah.
But it was funnier.
But then hitting him over the head with the wrench was like, whoa.
The demon face was funnier than the wrench joke. Yeah. And so it felt like you followed up a good joke with a mediocre joke. And so the second joke seems worse in comparison.
Yeah.
Because the demon face is very funny.
Yeah.
Like it would almost work better if she didn't have to hit him. And that he just was so scared of her anger at this point. Or he was turned on by it, which is a funny joke, right? Because there's a weird thing in Ed that he clearly is in love with Winry, right? Like there's clearly like deep feelings there. And it's so interesting to me that the other like woman in his life is this teacher who treats him the same way. And so he's like attracted to the younger version of teacher in terms of the way that they present their anger towards him.
Right.
Which tells me that Ed is setting himself up for bad relationships. Like the things that he's attracted to are women who throw shit at him and beat him over the head with metal wrenches.
He's like, I love toxic relationships.
He's gonna end. Him and Winry have some. I think they're gonna end up together.
Therapy to go through for
after
sure.
the show. They've got some therapy to go through.
Yeah.
In terms of what she thinks is acceptable in terms of her treatment of him. But they're cute together, and like I think they'll end up together, and that's fun. But
yeah,
it's interesting stuff. This wasn't my favorite episode, but I'm excited to watch the next one because I'm hopeful that we're headed towards Central to bring everybody together to get the plot a little bit more cohesive. Mm-hmm. Like the last episodes when characters showed up together in a place.
Yeah, it was
and
very
the plot
cool.
felt a little bit more because I wasn't like, and now we're over here, and now we're over here. This episode had like 4 vastly different locations.
Yeah,
and plot lines
sure.
that are connected, but not really.
Yeah, loosely at the moment.
Let's watch the next one. Oh no, he's gonna be important. They're so mean to overweight people in anime. That shot, they're like, and the fat one has a hot dog in his mouth. They all look serious, but the fat one's got a hot dog in his mouth.
Yeah, everyone is the like perfect body type unless they're not, and then it's for a reason.
Yeah. I'm so excited for May. Oh, interesting. That's the Fuhrer against the Jing warriors. Huh. I wonder if the Jing people are going to be the reason that Ed finds out about the Fuhrer.
Well, he's kind of suspicious of him after everything that happened.
A little bit, yeah. That's true.
Hey, where's the young lord?
Totally normal. So sneaky and totally normal to just be on top of the train.
Young lord, where have you taken off to this time?
Yes, the super stealthy ninjas who run around in broad daylight on top of trains screaming their heads off. Sure, I guess he already got there somehow. What an unnecessarily weird way to start the episode.
Oh boy, is she hot!
Hey, do you think this new girl would be fun to cut up? Come on, what do you say? Can I cut her?
Just get out of here.
Was that to us?
No.
He looked right in the camera.
Young master, where are you?
He's in trouble again. He's collapsed, I'm sure of it.
Okay.
These fucking idiots. Oh my god. Is he like diabetic? Do they explain why this man keeps collapsing randomly in the street?
I have no idea.
Yeah, she doesn't know.
Nope.
Armstrong, what the fuck?
Yeah, I guess he didn't tell. I don't know.
It's so weird. It makes sense I would run by it, but like, woof, what a shot.
Yeah.
Yes, you have the key for room number 3, don't you? Yes.
Hey, she does come back.
Okay then, I can come back later for the keys. Please make sure it's taken care of. Yes, ma'am.
I've been there, girl. I just need 5 minutes. I was in the middle of something and it looks worse than it is.
Was that Colonel Mustang that just left?
Oh! Captain Fokker, sir! Good morning!
Good morning to you, Sheska.
Who's this guy? Have we met him before? Whoa! Oh, it's Envy. That's fun. Mm-hmm. I enjoyed that.
Hello, sir. Hey.
Been there. There's nothing worse than when a tall dude gets into the stall and I stand up from pooping and then we make eye contact when he's about to poop and I'm not. Normal men, no, they don't understand. They can't see over the stalls, but I can. It's awkward. Uh-huh. I don't want to see over the stalls.
I ran into the Elric brothers.
That's a hard life.
I forgot to tell the Elrics that the Hughes boy's dead.
Did you tell them about Hughes's death?
Oh, okay, it is brought up. Okay.
Hughes always did enjoy helping other people. This time he stuck his nose into the Elric brothers' investigation and found out something he would have been better off not knowing.
Cool.
You never know who might be listening in on you, or where.
Interesting. I'm glad they acknowledge it. Okay.
Yeah.
Not here. Huh? He retired out in the country and took his wife and daughter with him.
I see. Well, that's too bad.
What a weird fucking lie. The man had a very public funeral. This is gonna make Mustang look sus as fuck in the whole homunculi thing.
Yeah.
You're in a hurry. Why the rush?
We just heard about Lieutenant Colonel Hughes.
Yeah. It's rough news, huh?
There was still so much that we wanted to tell him about.
We would have liked to say goodbye.
This is so morbidly hilarious.
He was promoted. 2 whole ranks.
Up to Brigadier General?
He retired to the country and they promoted him?
This is so darkly funny.
Yeah, it's pretty fucked up. I love that they found out, like, immediately.
His name is Fokker? Oh my god, I love that we've just met Fokker.
Meet the Fokkers.
That is dark. That is so darkly funny to be like, I had to lie for they don't need any more obstacles. And then the first person they run into, because of course that's what happens.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
You run into someone, you're like, it's crazy he retired. And they're like, no, what?
Yeah.
He was murdered shortly after you were discharged from the hospital, Edward. I'm afraid we still haven't found the person responsible.
Mustang, you moron.
Stop in and give me a shout the next time you make it to Central. Al, how are you gonna eat wearing that armor? Take it off, relax. Elrics, I understand that you two don't have a place to stay.
Of the, like, memories to have of him, those were definitely 3 weird choices.
Daddy?
Oh, God. Oh, my God.
Yeah.
Now I really want the scene where they're like, Mustang, what the fuck? That was fucking weird, dude.
Winry.
Oh my god.
I'm sorry, but there's something I need to talk to you about. If I may.
About Maze?
That's right.
I would not fill them in on the information that got Maze.
Don't tell me you're going to give up. You can't let what happened defeat you. If you do, then that means my husband died in vain.
Oh my god.
I know.
Oh shit.
You boys have to keep moving forward. Any way you can.
Jesus Christ.
Mommy, please don't cry.
What the fuck? Oh my god.
Yeah.
Apple pie?
That's right. I've practiced making it a few times. I'd hoped that Mr. Hughes would get to try some too.
Well, damn.
You've been named as the primary suspect in the Brigadier General Hughes murder case. Please come along.
That's absurd.
It's a big thing to announce in the cafeteria. I guess, like, they have to finger somebody, right? For the crime.
Yeah, it makes envy easier to...
And that way you take someone who might be a Mustang ally off the board. Oh, they're going after all of them. Oh, shit.
Oh no, I just got here. It's so good to see you, Jean. Why don't you sit down and tell me all about your day?
Of course. That's who he fell for.
I
Of course.
Mean,
How can you not? How can you not? It's Laura Bailey.
He's already had 2 girlfriends in the time we've known him, so you know.
It's Laura Bailey.
I get it, yeah.
Easy, reel him in.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was great.
It's rough.
Yeah, but, like, it's written so well.
Yeah.
And this is going back to, like, the previous episode and what I was saying about it. Like, the tone of this episode is fantastic television that is not for the same age group as the tone of the previous episode. You know what I mean? Like, this is a slow, aggressive, like...
Just punch in the gut.
Meditation on grief in a way that I really like the show. I'm not saying that the show shouldn't have any comedy in it.
Yeah.
But I think that, like, I just think the last episode went too far with it. And this episode got back to, I think, like, what I'm really loving about the narrative of this show, right? When it takes its world hyper seriously and then has the elevated element of alchemy. And I think that might be part of what it is with me and, like, the anime-isms is when they seem tied into magic and the, like, magical realism of the world, it's more fun. When it's tied into, like, the character's emotional life, it's less fun for me.
Right.
Because I want their emotional life to be real. And what this episode did so well is it made their emotional lives real.
Yeah. Even if we didn't, like, agree with the characters, you know what I mean? Like, it was like, Mustang, what the fuck? But also it's like, that's not... like unheard of, you know what I mean? Like people do that.
Yeah, and
people can't face those things.
I'm glad it didn't play out for a while.
Yeah,
I'm glad that it was like, no, this was an incredibly stupid thing to do because of course the next person he talks to, when he goes, crazy about Hughes, that person's like, what are you talking about?
Yeah,
like it played out, and I'm so glad that they mentioned Armstrong not mentioning it because it would have been weird if they hadn't.
Yeah, I was like,
I think they did I think it played out really smartly in this episode, but at the same time, the stuff at the beginning with the Jing prince, Ling, I think is his name. I can't remember his name. It just doesn't work for me.
Yeah,
like I don't understand. So he ran away from the train, climbed a building, looked around, went, oh, this city's weird, and then fell to his death? Probably not, because he was still talking. But, like, and then he just collapses in the street again to... And, like, it's not relevant to the rest of the episode. It's not relevant to all of our other characters who are living in this, like, very real world of the stakes of what's going on with the homunculi.
Yeah.
That is really fucking good. That to add in this guy that's like... I'm running away from the people I brought with me, and I'm unconscious on the street again for some reason. And I'm like, okay, like, I don't... It's almost like someone added in scenes from another show into the show.
Yeah.
And I just don't need them. Like, I'm like, no, we are doing something. You're cooking here. And what you're cooking, fucking amazing.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And, like, genuinely, like, the emotional writing of this episode is incredible.
Yeah.
They nail it. The scene with just, like, the shot of them coming into the room and Winry holding the little girl, like, the way that they staged that for the shot.
Yeah.
Unreal, right? And so, I don't know. I just think that there's, like, there's this weird element of the show where there's stuff about it that works so well. And there's stuff that doesn't for me. But I'm going to stick around for the stuff that works so well because it is so good.
It's really good. Yeah.
Like, the level of detail and work... Because even I was like, but wait, Armstrong didn't say anything. Immediately the next time we see Armstrong, did you tell the Alec brothers? No. Like, that kind of stuff makes me trust the author. Where I'm like, oh, you're paying attention to the details.
Yeah.
I don't agree with all your humor decisions, and that's fine. But, like, you're paying attention to the details, and it's really nice.
Yeah. No, I feel that. I don't really remember much about the prince, to be honest. Like, I can't even be like, oh no, there's like cool stuff with that coming, because I genuinely, like, I don't.
You don't remember what happens? Yeah.
remember. Yeah. I mean, there is cool stuff coming up. Like this show, there is a reason that like people love it. But yeah, this fucking hell that was brutal.
I just think that if you have to remove a character from an episode because the episode is going to be too dark for that character to exist in it, then that character doesn't fit your world perfectly.
Yeah, it is kind of weird.
Right?
Yeah.
Like, they deliberately take him out of the episode at the beginning of the episode because he does not have a place in the rest of it.
Yeah.
And part of that is because he doesn't know Hughes and whatever. But the other part of that is there's nothing we've seen about that character that fits into the tone of what our main characters are going through.
Yeah.
And so, and that's fine. And like maybe down the line he does, right? I think that Winry's at the end of the last episode, I was talking about how I want like growth for Winry. Clearly they're beginning that, right? When she opens that door, that's a different girl.
Yeah.
Because that's a girl who's only experienced loss by proxy before.
Well, no, her parents both died.
They died before she like knows anything though, right?
Well,
her parents died when she was like
6 maybe, I think. So
I thought her parents died before she remembers.
I think she says she like can vaguely remember them. I could be wrong, and I could be misremembering. But yeah, she did like, losing a parent at like the age of 5 or 6 versus like 15, like that. Those like I think impact you differently. Not that I would know, but I would just imagine that like our brains work differently from at different ages, and so she's lost people, but like. But I think not since she was like very, very young, and I that probably feels much different.
Yeah, I think this episode was great. I think it was really cool. I felt a lot. It took me a lot of different places, and it moved the story with the homunculi forward in a way that is interesting and also a little confusing to me, because the one thing about the world I still don't really have a hold on is if the homunculi are in charge of the world and can do things like move Mustang around, like what is their issue? Like I don't really understand what is holding them back.
Well, Mustang was brought to Central by Bradley.
Wrath, yeah.
Yeah.
Which is Lust.
They work together.
Right, no. In that scene, Lust literally says, "We brought Mustang here to keep an eye on him."
Yeah.
So the thing I don't get about the world right now is that these characters seem to be like fully in charge, right? Like the world, they can control this military system completely.
I mean, they have the like top dog, like So
what is like what is holding them back from just killing Mustang? Oh, and I get that he's like a good candidate to be sacrificed, but why not just do that? And so like that's where my question is right now, is like when you introduce a villain who already holds all the cards, what is the limitation on what they can or cannot do in terms of the world around them? Right?
I can't answer that.
Right. No, and that's fair. That I'm not saying that it's a bad thing that that's not introduced. I'm just saying that like right now that's my biggest question, because we're kind of in this weird position where he like the emperor is in charge and all of our main characters work for him. So what is stopping him from accomplishing his goals? And I'm going to be really interested to find out what that is, because there has to be some reason why they're hiding who they are, right? And why they're hiding that they're the ones in charge, and why they're putting on this facade. But I don't know what it is, because it seems like anyone with magic powers they control. So I don't.
You mean anyone with alchemy?
Sure. Yeah. The magic powers. It seems like anyone who has alchemy is under their thumb already, and they can control, right?
What do you mean by under their thumb?
Because there are state-sponsored alchemists who are literally work for Bradley.
Yeah.
So, like, they have a level of control over anyone with any sort of power to get in their way.
Yeah.
Regular people are not going to stop the homunculi, right? It's going to be alchemists. So, if you are in the position where you control all the people who can stop you, what is the limitation on what they're trying to accomplish?
Right.
And that's what I'm really interested in, right? Because they have all the power. So, like, wait, what is it? Is it like there's a certain date and they just don't want to be out too early because people might want to stop them? Like, what is in the way of them just accomplishing their goals?
Yeah, cool.
And granted, I don't really know what their goal is. I don't really know what the 0 day or whatever they called it is. But I'm curious to find out because it seems to me right now that I'm like, oh, you guys have already won. Like we're living in a world where the bad guys have already won. So what's stopping them? Mm-hmm. And it's interesting. It's a cool idea. It's a concept that like, I feel like we don't get very often.
Right.
Or if we do, they're very clearly the bad guys, right? Like the Empire in Star Wars, we don't start A New Hope being like, I don't know if that Darth Vader guy is a bad guy, right?
Right.
You're introduced to him and you're like, oh, that dude's evil as shit.
Yeah. I hear you.
So in this, it's like, do people... Obviously, Scar wants to stop the fear of what happened in Ishval, but like, what else is going on?
Yeah.
And that, because that is the thing that I find the most interesting about the show, is the emotional journey of the Elric brothers and what is going on with the homunculi. When you introduce things like the Jing dude, who's kind of a joke and doesn't seem to be connected to that, I'm like,
I don't give a shit about him.
I don't care about this humor that isn't tied into other stuff that I don't actually think is very funny.
Right.
Right. Like, I don't think the joke works.
Right.
Look, this man fell unconscious again. Is he okay? Like, is that man okay? Is my first question. It's not like, that man keeps passing out. My question is, like, does he need a Snickers? Like, is he diabetic? Like, why is that man falling unconscious in the street?
Someone get him a Snickers.
It's just not a joke to me.
Yeah.
And so, like, I think the show wants it to be funny.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, that's not, but
get it.
But there's no joke to it. He just is unconscious. And the last time we saw him was on top of a building. Did he fall off of that building? Because if he fell off that building and survived, that's very interesting. But, like, did he fall off that building? The whole opening of the episode is very weird. Mm-hmm. And the ninjas are running around on top of light posts and shit as if that's going to help them see him, I guess. They're not very sneaky. And why doesn't he have a passport? Like, but, like, who cares? Like, why wouldn't he just get a passport? And so those are the things where I like I said with the Armstrong thing, that made me trust the other. I should trust it. But the Armstrong thing has been like less of a joke over time, and so I'm hoping Ling becomes less of a joke over time.
Yeah.
Because the things that have become less of a joke over time, Armstrong, Mustang was such a moron. The first, I really was like, I am not gonna like this Mustang guy. They eschewed all of him being stupid for no reason, and have like been like, oh no, this is a real person who has relationships and like interpersonal stuff going on that's interesting.
Yeah.
And so I'm hopeful that we keep doing that with these characters, because some of them I'm like, you need a varnish, you need a polish, man. This is weird.
Yep.
And, like, yeah, it's just not a funny enough joke for me. Mm-hmm. That's it. I like this episode a lot. It was great. It was very emotional. I love the scene with Hughes' wife. She's fantastic.
Yeah.
Now you got to keep going.
Yeah.
You got to keep going.
Yeah, no, she's great. That scene, I was like, oh, fuck, I forgot how brutal that was.
Well, and it's interesting, right? Because in Attack on Titan, there's this similar theme in season 4 with, like, we just keep moving forward, right? And I think that there is really, like, there's an element of grief that is, like, the point where you have to get out of bed and be like, oh, I can't stop, right? And, like, because I remember this, like, I've had moments in my life that have been like this. Not quite, the same, but not that different. And, there is that, like, that first night or that first week or that first month or however long it takes where the first time you experience that grief is, like, a moment of, like, oh, like, I don't know if I can do anything. Like, I don't know if I can feel anything. Mm-hmm. You're almost not even sad that the person died because the numbness extends into everything about you.
Yeah.
And that moment where you actually are like, I'm hungry and I have to go make something to eat is like weird and wonderful in a way, because you do not think that you're going to have it in you to get up and go do that, but you find a way to go make the apple pie. You know what I mean? You find a way to go put peanut butter on bread and eat something because you're starving, even though the depths of your grief is telling you not to, and just wants you to sit on the couch. And in my experience, it gets easier. And the third and fourth grief, you step up and you start walking a little bit faster than the first one. But there's something about that first time when you really experience that where you're like, I don't think that I can do anything ever again. And the moment where you realize that you can is so powerful.
Yeah.
Like it's it doesn't make the grief go away, but it is magical to realize at that moment that there is the capability within you to continue to move forward.
Right.
And, you know, Aaron and Attack on Titan and Ed and Al in this show have experienced such an incredible grief. And those characters are so capable of that forward momentum that is so hard to find in those moments after.
Yeah.
And it is beautiful to watch. And I think they've done such a good job with Ed and Al in framing their relationship around what their forward motion is.
Yeah, for sure.
And, you know, they have this incredible bond that is, you know, really helped by the fact that they have a shared vision and a shared goal. And obviously by the fact that Al can't have a life really without it. But
yeah,
their bond and their relationship is what makes the show work so well for me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Oh yeah, it's like the central, like, it's the keystone of the whole show. Like.
Yeah, and honestly, it's so impressive that they've made it work considering Al has no facial expressions. Yeah. You know, and in the anime, they get around it with some of the drawing techniques that they use to give him a little bit more life. But for the most part, he's a solid face of just iron, just kind of emotionless, looking through those red lights in his eyes.
I think a lot of it is the voice actor.
Yeah, he's great.
Yeah.
He's wonderful.
It's so good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're a great little brother pair. I like them a lot.
Yeah.
I like this show. Especially like the last chunk. You know, last episode wasn't my favorite, but if we keep getting episodes like this, I don't care. Like, I'll have a couple of episodes that are a little bit funnier that just are kind of, they don't really mean a lot to me. If I can have stuff like this where, like, I'm so emotionally invested in Hughes' wife, and I wasn't invested in Hughes. I really want to go back and watch Full Metal and understand why people love that character.
I would love, maybe someone in our community has it on, like,
Blu-ray or something. On a Plex server. Well, because I don't really get, like, the people who know are like, no, you don't understand what you missed.
Yeah.
And I just feel like I missed out on something because this show I don't think does enough for that character.
Yeah.
In fact, I think this episode does more for that character in this show than all of the previous stuff did.
Yeah.
Because we don't really see him accomplish anything. The most work we see him do is circle a couple of things on a map.
Right.
And then die, which is fine, but like, to know that there is this story about him that has been told and they didn't put that in this show is very weird to me.
Yeah, it sucks.
Honestly.
Yeah.
Because clearly by this episode, that death means so much to the show.
Mm-hmm.
And to miss out on that depth is unfortunate, but also, like, it's very near the beginning of the show. There's so much show left and I'm so excited for the journey we're going on.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, interesting. It's a good time. Sad, but like, when the writing's this good, I'll watch really sad stuff, you know?
Yeah. Make me cry. Like, just rip my heart out.
I can't ask you. I want to be like, do you think? But you know.
Ask them and I will sit here like this. Put your thoughts out there.
Is this Mustang's mistake that puts him and Ed and Al at odds? Is my question. Does Ed look at what Mustang did in this episode by lying to him? With just such like an emotional choice, and I understand the emotion behind the choice. I don't want to pretend that I don't understand the emotion of the choice, but it's a terrible lie, like because it's a lie that, like, if you said that he went on a secret mission and we can't talk about it, then Ed is not going to go around the building talking about it. But you've told a lie that is so safe for Ed to go up to somebody else in the building and ask, when it wasn't a private funeral, the family is still in town. Like, you don't, like, Eddie and Al could just run into the mom. You know what I mean? Like, it's not, the lie is so bad that I'm worried that Ed will look at it and Al will look at it and be like, oh, now we have to suspect Mustang, putting a wrench between the one real ally that Ed and Al have in Central. Other than maybe Armstrong, I don't really understand what Armstrong's place is in the, like, hierarchy. Because it seems like he's at the same level as Ed and Al, but maybe higher, but maybe not. But also, he wears a military uniform and they don't. Armstrong's, like, tier confuses me. Because sometimes I feel like Armstrong outranks Mustang, and sometimes I feel like he doesn't. And I just don't know. Like, I don't really get it. Because Armstrong doesn't seem like he wants to rise up. You know what I mean? He doesn't seem like he wants leadership. Mm-hmm. I just have questions about that. I find, like, the military command structure of this world very strange.
Uh-huh.
Partially sorry, I keep talking, but partially because part of their military structure is, do you have magic?
Yes.
Right? And so that...
You automatically are a major, I think.
But you can also rise up the normal way from major if you have magic, if you want to. But so, he's a colonel, but he has the ability to throw fire with his hands. Maybe. We've never actually seen him do it, but apparently he did in the Ishvalan War.
We've never... Yeah,
because the one time he was going to, it was raining. No, maybe he did in episode 1. I don't remember.
I don't remember either, actually.
I don't remember if he did in episode 1.
No, I'm not sure.
No, that was fantastic television. And
I can't say anything.
I know you can't. I'm sorry. A lot of these episodes you can't talk, which is unfortunate.
It's fine. It's fun.
But I get why people love the show. I think like that was... That might have been some of the best emotional writing I've seen in an anime outside of Cyberpunk. I think Cyberpunk really nailed the story of sadness.
Yeah, that's fair.
But like I would put this above anything in Attack on Titan, only because I think that this show has a better understanding of I think that Attack on Titan handles grief from a very like broad sense. That is very non-specific. It's and I think that I see this in anime a lot, in that like people are sad, like big S sad. And I think that this episode, much like Cyberpunk Edge Runners to me, got into the very specific feelings of why a specific person is sad in a specific way, in a really smart way.
Yeah.
And showing the difference between Winry's sadness versus Edward's sadness versus the mom's sadness, visually and in the dialogue, I think there's an emotional intelligence to the way it's written here that makes me not surprised that the mangaka who wrote the manga, I guess the mangaka, is a woman.
Yeah.
Yeah. It isn't that like broad sadness. It's very small.
Yeah.
But very specific and
which I just
really
think is way more interesting and more impactful.
Yeah. This was
like Attack on Titan doesn't make me teary, you know.
No, and it's also relentless.
Yeah.
And there's a I'm trying to think of oh my god, there's a word for it, and I'm trying to think of what it is. There's the sadness in this is reserved.
Oh, okay.
And like it's like the even in the scenes, like there's moments where I agree with you. It's not relentless. It's felt, it's intentional, and then it ends, and the characters kind of like come out of it.
Yeah.
In like a really honest way. I think it's really well done.
Yeah. No, I love it.
Yeah. No, me too. This was great. Very moving. If you like this video, like and subscribe to the channel. If you don't, hit the dislike button. Leave mean comments down below, because the algorithm god is hungry and we must feed her. Please, only mean comments and no death threats. We've had enough of them lately. Maybe in a month we'll open up to death threats once more.
Don't say that. Jesus Christ.
Well, I mean, we get them sometimes. Attack on Titan wasn't the first. It won't be the last.
Yeah.
Do you remember the first death threat we got?
Mm-hmm.
It was on the Conjuring 3 trailer.
Yeah.
That we liked. We were like, this was a really good, and someone threatened to kill you in that in the comments on that video. That was weird.
Like, it's just a movie, bro.
Very strange. The algorithm goddess for this episode is Hugh's wife, because she's got an uphill battle ahead of her, but I hope the government is taking care of her, which they might not be, because the government is run by a literal monster. Like an actual, like, made to be a monstrosity. If you want to follow us on the internet, you can. I'm at nerdynightly.
I'm at Claris Polaris.
As always, do something nerdy tonight, you dang nerds.
Bye.
Bye.